Hello, trail travelers. It is Carrie and Katerina, and today we're going to go hit Pratt Creek. Now, this is a small little trail-ish off of 80C, which is also known as Cherokee Park Road. So it's 22 miles from the beginning of Cherokee Park Road, and you'll get here and you'll see Forest Road 182, and there's actually a parking lot over here so you can have some lunch, get grouped up and everything. So we're going to go check it out. It's about 10 miles in, and then it's an out and back, so we'll be heading back out. So let's get going. We're starting off here on Pratt Creek, and right away you can tell this has a slightly higher difficulty rating than what you've been on to get here, which was Cherokee Park Road. Trails Off Road rates this as a 2-2. So again, it's going to be fairly easy for, you're going to want a little bit more ground clearance on here. But like we have our Subaru Outback Wilderness, I would have no problem bringing it back here and doing a little exploring. As I said, this is going to take us about 10 miles in, and it looks like there's quite a bit of little camping spots along the way. That last one there, I thought it was going to be a little road. I could see it just goes back to a little campsite. So if you want to do some camping along here, I think this may be the spot to do it. But we'll just see how many more little campsites there are along the road. Now, this is the beginning of April. It's April 3rd, 2022. So it's still winter for sure. I mean, and there's snow on the ground. There's a little slush on the trail, but nothing that I would say we're snow reeling yet. About 1.5 miles into the road, you will get to this intersection, and it says Pratt Creek Road, looking like it goes off to the right, but that is a private road. We're going to stay to the left to remain on the trail. So make sure you get to Pratt Creek Road, you go to the left. Now, one thing we are seeing along this road is a lot of aspens, and gotta love aspen trees because, man, do they look beautiful during the summer, and they're really amazing in the fall. So if you want a nice fall drive, you might want to keep Pratt Creek on your list because it is absolutely beautiful through here, and these aspens are just going to be awesome to be driving this close and driving through them. Now we're getting into a little bit of snow here on the trail, a little slush. Not too deep, nothing that we have to worry about. But we still have a ways to go with winter. I mean, we still could have another couple good snowstorms before it's all over. Looks like we got some fire damage off to our right hand side here, and we're going to follow this around. There's a trail that goes off to the left, but we're circling this around to the right, and we see a sign right now that says 182, so that's what we're staying on right now. A little more snow here. Looks like we've gone up a little bit in altitude. Oh, more aspen trees. There are definitely a lot of aspens on this trail. Makes for some sketchy flying because I can't see them. Okay, at this intersection, we're going to go to the left. It's not really a marked section anywhere here as to what's over there, but we're following trails off-road, so we're going to continue to the left. Got a nice snow patch here. Dropped it down into 4 low just to make sure we had some good traction. And Catarina blazed through that without any problem. Okay, we've got kind of a big snowdrift here, so we're gonna try and get through this. We'll just make sure we keep some momentum going. Might have sprayed a little, but looks like we made it. So we're get more and more of these snow patches here. I'm not overly worried. They're not deep. Well, that first one was kind of deep, but so far not too bad. Nothing that I'm going to be like wondering if we need to turn around or anything yet. But we are creeping up in altitude a little bit. We're at 8,663 feet. So just to kind of show that the snow level is still pretty low right now. Often this time of year, we're looking at trails that are below 9,000 to make sure we can get through them. I mean, look, we got trees that have fallen down. We got a lot of mud here.
Okay.
So we just gotta kind of be careful going through this.
You have to really step. Slow on one.
But don't stop in this stuff. Just keep going, and make sure you have a little bit of momentum on your side to get through it.
Yeah.
Okay, this is going to be a kind of a tricky little spot here. It's really deep, but it's fairly packed, and once I kind of get over the top here, I need to kind of give it a little goose because I don't want to get stuck, but it's also going to get pretty tippy. Nope. And I dropped out of gear.
Go a little bit back and then driver, a little bit driver. You are off that grid for tires. No, now you are sinking. Go, go, go. Driver, 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 driver. Okay, now you're stuck. stop.
Okay, well, the traction boards didn't work, so we're having to hook up a winch, and we'll see if this will work. It's kind of an angle, but we've done worse. And I think that does it. All right, all right, I think we're good. We just need to pull a foot or two. Well, that kind of kicked our butt a little bit. Had to pull out the winch to get going. And traction board 0, winch 1. We've got a long stretch of snow here, so we're just going to try and stick to other people's tracks. Try not to get stuck. Just give it a little goosey. Stay on the beans a little bit. Do have kind of gravity on our side here, but this is going to probably be a little trick coming back up. There.
Okay. No, you're stuck.
It just dragged us right into a ditch. So we're gonna do a little winching here to try and get back on the trail. And we're free again. So this was definitely not what we expected from a 2-2 trail, but coming out in the winter, you have to be prepared for anything. And we have traction boards, and we have our winch, and everything else. And you know, we've been using them. But what we finally did, which I think is going to make the biggest difference, is we finally aired down. We didn't because it was an easy, smooth trail. But in the snow, we want a big contact patch. So we aired down to 14 PSI, and hopefully that's gonna help get us from getting stuck again, especially because we have to turn around and drive out of this the same way we came in. So might as well air down now and have some traction and not be worried about it on the way out. But I'm just kind of surprised how deep the snow is here, because we're actually at a lower altitude than we were before.
You want to go further?
But this snow just keeps throwing us in different directions. And that's where it gets a little sketchy, because if we go too far, you know, we could end up sliding off the trail in a couple spots. But now that it's flat again, we'll just kind of keep crawling through this. But if it gets any worse, we may have to call it a day and turn around.
Yeah, they went around through the trees.
Okay, I had to think about this for a second, because off to our left is a trail that there's just no way I'm going on. It is just deep, deep snow. But then we see the trail here, so we see where we have to keep going, and it's not nearly as bad. Oh, and we're into some kind of cool stuff here. These are freshly cut.
Hold on, 182A. Where we have to go?
I don't know. There's a sign to our right that says 182A, but I'm thinking we go to the left, which is probably 182. So 182A probably takes us over to Diamond Peak. I think that's a right from here.
Keep left. It will be somebody's property gate in 1.5 miles.
But somebody has definitely gone through here and done some maintenance. There's some private property through here, so I suspect maybe it was the landowner back here, or maybe some people with some chainsaws coming through here to do the trail. But definitely a lot of fallen trees. But now that we're on this side of the hill, you can see there's a lot less snow because this area is going to get some sunlight. So I think we're going to be okay for a while, unless I have spoken too soon, like I often do. And now we'll get to see where the trail goes. And we have about 4 miles left of this 10.2 mile trail. So we're a little over halfway. And thank goodness we're on some dry soil, because if I had to do another 4 miles of that snow, I think I would have turned around.
Some campground or something.
Yes, there. Now that Katerina just mentioned it, there is supposed to be a lot of camping spots available around here. And I think back there we passed 182A and 182B, and that's where I would head if I was looking for a campsite right about now.
Yeah.
So those look like good spots.
And previously it was some such side roads to the very beautiful spots.
Oh yeah, if you just want some nice relaxed camping, I think this would be a great spot.
Oh, I will put it on a list for summer with trailer to come here.
Yeah, you want to come here with the trailer?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very doable.
Do some exploring around here on stuff that's not some of these marked trails.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of I don't know what those are, county roads or something, but you look on the map and you see tons of roads around here, but they don't necessarily have names, you know, like Hey Joe or Rattlesnake Canyon and all that stuff, you know. So sometimes it's just 184, you know, and you know, a trail we did last year, and everyone just refers to it as 68J, you know. So sometimes there's some good roads, and we may just come out here for a weekend just to do some exploring. Wow, big tree came down here.
Very good.
During the winter, it looks like.
You want me to spot?
And we're gonna have to crawl our way through this. At least they cut it wide enough for my Jeep.
Oh.
Okay, made it through that okay. And we're back into some snow. Now that we've aired down, we're definitely have a lot more traction through this. Okay, this one seems really confusing, because it would look like you would go straight ahead, because to our left there's, let me see if I can turn here. You see they've got almost a decoration going over this area. This looks like private property going into here, and it may be private property, not really sure, but at least we're allowed to go through here, and this is where it tells us to go on the Trails Off-Road guide. So we're going to go through it and see how we do. We're just gonna, I think, just power our way through. I don't see any reason why we're gonna have any more problems. God, I've said that before.
Never said it. But you can breathe now.
But yeah, someone's been on here before us. I mean, there's obvious tracks, and you know, if you're properly prepared, and that means airing down and having the right gear, and you know, sometimes it means winching, then you know, you can do stuff like that. For the vast majority of people out there, I'm going to say you should never try doing something like this by yourself, because it's very easy to get stuck, and then you have to get unstuck. And just because you have a winch, which means you can get pulled forward, doesn't mean you can get unstuck very easily, because sometimes there's nothing in front of you. Sometimes there's just really nowhere to pull but into deeper and deeper snow. So just having a winch is not good enough. Always come with somebody else so that you have a point where someone can pull you backwards instead of the only choice you have is to pull yourself into deeper snow. But I'll tell you, I haven't had a good upper body workout in the Jeep in a long time, because this snow now has gone through a bunch of thaw-free cycles, so it's really hard. And when it wants to turn your tires left or right, it's just going to do it. This is where some power assist steering, PSC or redneck RAM system, can really make a difference in helping you to control stuff, because it can just whip the steering wheel right out of your hands, which is also why you never wrap your thumbs around the steering wheel, because if it does that, you can break your thumbs. So you always keep your thumbs out, just like you keep your finger off the trigger on a gun, you keep your thumbs out from underneath the steering wheel so they don't get broken. Here we go. Now this is some snow wheeling. I might have almost slowed down too soon. Oh, we finally got out of a long stretch of snow. And man, it was just throwing us all over the place. And I spoke too soon, because here we go again. And this is all about consistency. Keeping a consistent pace. Too fast and it'll just throw you into a sideways pitch. Too slow, you risk getting stuck. So you just have to find a balance where you're making good headway going forward without going too fast that it just throws you all over the place. So it's definitely a challenge, and it is a big workout on my arms today. And every time I can get a tire on some dirt, it's a good moment. But we're about 75% of the way from the last waypoint, so we're doing pretty good here, as long as I don't hit this tree.
Oh yeah.
All right. Oh,
10%.
we are coming up on the end, and I can't wait to take a break, get some food in me, and then decide what we're going to do.
Was it for the end of the trail? But then we have to go back on the pavement somehow. All right.
Huh.
Send it. It's deep there.
Yeah, it is. As long as I can keep from getting stuck.
No, sweetheart, it's deep. We have to winch.
Third time's the charm when it comes to winching, I guess. But this is deep. We're in a snowdrift that's at least 3 feet deep, and where Katerina is standing right now, it's probably 4 feet deep. So I think we're going to have no choice but to turn around at this point. I don't think we can make it any further.
Keep going.
And we're just going to have to let the winch do its job here. Time to put it away. Well, we've come to the end of the road for today. If you see behind the Jeep there how high the snow is, that's not because it's a hill, it's because it's snow. Katerina will vouch for that. She dropped all the way to her waist. It's easily 3.5 feet deep right here, and the next one is even deeper, and the next one is even deeper before we get out. I calculate we would have to do probably 8 winch pulls to get out of here, but the problem is the trees start getting really sparse because of where we're at. So even though 2 or 3 pulls might be okay, I don't really think there's anywhere to pull to get out and get back onto this other road that would lead us back to ADC. So the only choice is turn around. But we're only missing the end of this trail by about 800 feet. So we did a really good job of getting here, but I mean, just look right here, 4 feet of snow. Over here, 3-4 feet of snow over there. Huge snow drifts. Sometimes you just got to know when to turn around. And today, it's our time to turn around. So we're going to grab some lunch, and then we have to head all the way back the way we came. And hopefully, after airing down, that hopefully we'll be able to drive out without having to winch ourselves out. There's only one way to find out.
All right, you stuck. You stuck really good.
So that was the end of Pratt Creek. We made it back out. We did have to winch one time at the same place that we winched the first time going through, because that was super deep. I sunk all the way up to my where my leg ends with my body, I'll say that. Yeah, it was easily 3-4 feet deep. We sank in it and just had to winch ourselves out, but other than that, we did really good coming out. And now we're going to get back on Cherokee Creek Road, finish that road up, see where that goes. But from Katerina and I here at Trail Traveler from Pratt Creek Road, thanks for watching, everybody. We really appreciate it. Like, share, and subscribe as always. Be safe out there. We'll see you on the trail.